Well, hello. This is Jenny Gallagher, um, and welcome to Embroidery Computing 101. I'm going to show y'all my shirt. I know it's backwards, but I'll turn it around a little bit when I turn the camera around and I'll show y'all. So, over the last, I guess, probably 3 or 4 months with the holiday shoppers, we have had hundreds of new members, thousands of new members. And we're noticing that a lot of our newer members just don't have a lot of computer skills and are struggling with trying to figure out how this all works. And so we have loads of tutorials and we have loads of help, but some of that isn't even accessible to some of you for helping. So I have been thinking about this for a while. And so last week, with several people in the group struggling, I just thought maybe we should just do one of these quick computer tutorials. I don't know how quick it's going to be, but we're going to see. So I'm actually going to do a couple of things. One is we're going to go through some basic computer skills. I'm going to walk you through downloading from 2 different websites to show you there's lots of different ways it can happen. One is Lenny Penny and the other is Designs by Juju. And I am already logged into my sites to save us some time. And I'm also logged in on my computer on Facebook so that once we do the computer course, workshop, part, whatever, then we're going to transition over to Facebook. And so we'll talk about how to navigate the group better. So if you see members struggling, then you can tag them to this video or to some other video that you're aware of, or in some of the announcements posts to kind of help each other out. Because sometimes it's really hard to put into words what we're trying to convey when we just kind of click through it and do it without really thinking. So if I move too fast through some of my instruction, don't hesitate to type a question in and ask. I will be watching and checking periodically through here. I'm going to try to avoid the hey everybody while I'm talking and teaching, because that gets real distracting for a lot of people that come along and watch. So I will stop and take breaks every little bit to go back and review questions that you're posting or comments about how to do things. I am not a computer expert by any means. Kyla Sue, if you are watching and you're paying attention, if you see something that is easier or I don't say it right, please correct me, because I am definitely not a computer whiz. I do enough on computers to be able to function. And so we're going to try to help y'all get, better. So this can be more fun and much less frustrating. So second of all, I want to say Happy Easter to everybody. So I hope everybody has lots of fun and food and fellowship this weekend with family and friends. Does anybody have questions specific before we get started? Lenny Penny just sent me a message, so let me read her message right quick. Okay, gotcha, Lindsay. Thanks. So, anything y'all want to ask before we get started now? All right. Hey, Kat. How are you? Glad you could be here. So, all right. If nobody's got anything to start with, I did message several designers. I messaged Lenny Penny. a Message, Designs by Juju, Itch to Stitch. I can't remember them all, and I apologize. I should have made a list, and I did not. But I went to several of the larger digitizers and designers, and I asked them for some input about what they wanted you to learn other than what I was just seeing for myself. They basically told me the same things. So we're going to walk through some basic computer stuff, and then we're going to work on navigating a Facebook group and maybe answer more questions if you have them. So first things first. I am on, let me turn my camera around. Hang on. Oh, I was going to show you the shirt too. So can you read it better now? I can't see what y'all see. Can you see my Nebraska Strong shirt? Okay. So, I made that. We were flooded. Our house did not take damage, but we were flooded out of our neighborhood, about a month ago. And so that was what I made after we got home. So I would have me something. Okay. So the picture, honestly, doing this from my phone camera to the website is not perfect, and I apologize for that. But if you will go back and rewatch and pay attention, different spots, review and rewind and watch again, you'll get it. But I'm gonna try to point to things so you'll know where things are, and that's why we're doing it this way. So number one, this bar up here is called your URL bar. It's your address. If you want to go to a website, that's where you go. You type in, if we open another tab, which is right here, these are tabs. I have Lenny Penny open, I have Designs by Juju open, and I have Facebook, our group open. And then I have a blank tab here. I can open another tab here, and it automatically brings that page forward, and I can type in, another designer I use a lot is Itch to Stitch. And so it'll pull your search engine, will start reading your mind, so to speak, and it'll try to find you some things that it thinks you might want. So you pick the one you want, and so then it's going to take you to the Itch to Stitch page, and you just click there and you go to a different URL. That's a different address that is Itch to Stitch. So you can open bunches of these tabs, as much internet as you have capability to open all of those up. But we're going to work from Lenny Penny first, because her download is pretty similar to most. It's a little bit different from Etsy, but Etsy has its own little world, and it's pretty easy. If you can navigate some of these websites, you can navigate Etsy pretty good. So I've pulled up my order, my download history. So once you're logged in, see, I'm logged in and my computer is open to my account. You can choose sections you want to go to. And so I've opened up my order history, and it's down here. So I can download this design 5 times. I've downloaded it once, so we're going to download it again so you can watch how that happens. So I'm going to download this John 3:16 word art, and I'm going to click download. And this is where people get really confused, is once you, oh, ding ding, okay computer, you can take your time. Once you click download, a screen will come up in a moment, and I'll go into more detail, but some people will just click download and OK without ever paying attention to anything in that screen, and that's important. If you don't pay attention to where you are putting the file, why are you not downloading? Okay, my computer has locked up, so let's try this again. There we go, it's just being slow. Okay, so this is the screen that pops up. I'm going to make it a little smaller so you can see more of the whole screen. Okay, so I'm in the Save As command. You can see Save As in this top left corner. It's choosing to put this in the last folder that I had open this morning. I was working with patients and lab results this morning, so it automatically defaulted to a folder called Documents, My Documents, Joyful Heart, which is my medical practice, and then my lab request folder. That's just where it opened to. Sometimes it automatically will open to the last folder you have used. Sometimes it defaults to something you tell it. Sometimes, most of the time, most computers default download to a download folder. If you don't go to this little tab right here and change this to where you really want it to be, you will sort of lose your download. It'll just disappear into Never Never Land. I have a folder that I set up specifically to download my embroidery designs into, and I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to choose to go to my Windows, because that's where I have stored my folders. Sorry it's so slow. There's probably something running in the background, but I don't know about all that stuff and how to turn it off. So again, I'm not all that terribly computer savvy. I can do enough to function. But it's just acting really slow today. Let me look through questions while it's running. There we go. I don't see any questions, just mostly hey. So I'm not ignoring y'all. Hey to all of you, and I truly appreciate you being here. I'm just trying to stay sort of focused so we don't lose our train of thought. So you can see I've got several folders here. Some of these are accidentally put here. When I'm moving around, a lot of times I accidentally put stuff here. This is a Designs by Juju font. I don't know how it got here. It doesn't belong here. I didn't put it there on purpose. But during Christmas, this date modified shows the last time I was accessing it. I probably did it by accident, and I just haven't moved it. But all of my embroidery files go in here. This is when I got this computer, and so I labeled my embroidery folder Embroidery Files 2016, and that's when I started using this particular laptop. I moved a lot of old files into here, and so then when I click on it and I open these up here, I have several different folders. I have what I call A1 Ready to Stitch Words, and that's a folder that I use after I combine names or mix names with fonts, names with designs. Once I've fiddled with it, it goes here. Otherwise, it stays in all these other folders. And we're going to go to Sorted Files. And I'm going to find I think I have a Lenny Penny folder down here. So you'll see that I have several different folders named things. Food and Kitchen, Designs from Frou Frou by Heather Sue. I found some Harry Potter designs on Etsy that I wanted to keep separate because I didn't know where else to put them. I have Just So Pretty, Just Peachy. Some designs I put, when I buy lots of them, I put them in a folder just for themselves. And then when I want to find something, I go look in their folder. Other times I save them in folders like Nautical or Nursery for baby stuff, Pillow Sayings, Plants and Flowers. I have just a whole different folder for lots of different things. You can choose how you do this, but this saves me from having to do a couple things. One is if I know I want a plant or a flower, I don't have to go hunting through 50 different folders to find one. I can go straight to the Plants and Flowers folder. Or if I know I want something from a particular design website, I can go straight to their folder. So you can choose however you want, but this also keeps me from having to buy a lot of, spend a lot of money on the thumbnailers or those other things where there's pictures, because I just go to the website and I pick what I want. The folder, and pick what I want. So I have a folder for Lenny Penny. So I'm going to click on it. And so you'll see that I now have Save As, Embroidery Files, Embroidery Sorted Files, and Lenny Penny. This is the folder I'm in. These are other files located in this folder. Okay? So it's going to save it as this name. I'm leaving it as Lenny Penny, John 3:16 Word Art. This is the same thing. She already had the file named. I'm not going to change it. It's going to save it as type, compressed zip folder. You should leave it compressed because that's going to give you the fastest download and the safest download. So we're going to click on our save button and see I've already downloaded it, so it's going to ask if I want to replace it, and for our purposes I'm going to say yes. So now you notice down here in this bottom corner, there's a little icon that I have this new file that's been downloaded. If I click on this arrow, it will let me have a choice. Do I want to see it in the folder or do I want to open the file? I'm going to show it in the folder so y'all can see what's going to happen. So now you see all these things in this folder. So how the heck do we find what we just downloaded? Well, a couple of things. One is you can order your list by the name. You could order your list by the date modified, or if we were in a folder of different kind of documents, your file types could also be sorted. I'm going to choose date modified, and it'll immediately pull that last file up to the top. See, there it is. Lenny Penny, John 3:16 Word Art, 418. We just did that. So now we have the file saved from our website. What do we do with it? Well, we open it. So now we're in the folder. You can watch the folders, the file tree as it goes across here. We're now in the actual zipped folder. And now we have a new command that has popped up here, and it says extract all files. Sometimes you don't see that until you right click. Well, let me open it. So mine doesn't do. Sometimes you can do right click and they'll open a box that says extract all. Where is mine? I don't know, but normally there's a button here. When I right click, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I've already done it before and it's being dumb. But some computers, when you right click here on this file, maybe if I go back one branch. Ah, there we go. When I click on the zipped folder, when I first go into Lenny Penny's folder, that's where I get the right click extract all. Okay? So I can either click extract all here, or I can open it and click extract all. So we're going to extract all the files. I'm going to leave it named the same. I don't want to change anything, and I'm going to click extract. This is going to take a while. It's copying 54 items. If you do a font, you're going to copy hundreds upon thousands of letters and files, because when a lot of designers sell fonts, you got 26 letters, lowercase, uppercase, punctuation, and numbers sometimes. Then you have them in 6 or 8, 10 different formats that they're sold in, plus you have the PDF color charts and the photos, so you have resources in the file as well. So it's really important to know what kind of files you have and where they are, okay? So now we're going to go back to the name sorting, and we're going to have Lenny Penny, John 3:16, if I can find it. Lenny Penny. They're in alphabetical order. There it is, and it's highlighted. There's the extracted one. And then up here at the top, there will be the one before is zipped, not extracted. This one is the one that has been extracted. There's no zipper on the file folder, see? So this means that the design is ready to use. I can open it. We are not using software today. This is just to use your computers. So I would use my Embird software to open and put it in, and I would rename it. But here you see we can click on the word art, and we're going into more and more folders the more we click. And so we want to use PES format for our brother machines. So I'm going to open the PES folder, and you'll see that Lenny Penny has a 4x4 version, a 5-inch version, a 6-inch version, and a 7-inch version. So which one do I want to move over to my USB? Well, we'll just pick the 5-inch version just for the heck of it. So I'm going to highlight it. You see it's in blue. I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to copy that. Did you see that? Right click. I have several choices here. I could open with, send by Bluetooth, I can send it somewhere, or I can copy it. Okay? I copied it by right clicking, but we can also click send to, and we can put it on my USB, which is the EastFun eDrive right here. So either you can use the copy command or the send to command. So there's the send to command. And then if we open up our file folder on our EastFun and click date modified, we see that at the very top of the page, we now have our design from Lenny Penny on our flash drive. Okay? I don't know if you have questions about how that works, but now might be a good time to type something in. I'm going to look through the comments and see if there's been anything. Did I move too fast? Did I click somewhere you didn't see? Is there anything I need to go back and do or to do better when I do Juju's design? How are we doing so far? Questions, comments? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with Juju. Hers is a little bit different because Designs by Juju's website gives you the choice when you are downloading to choose which format you want to download. You don't download like we did Lenny Penny. It downloaded all those different formats. It downloaded the XXX, the PES, the DST. It put all those formats in that one folder. Juju has hers separated out. Let me see if I can remember how to find her download order. So you don't have to download as many files. So this is items that I've bought from Juju in the past. And so on this right side of the screen, we have download files for each one of them. And we're going to choose the Flip Flop Summer applique because it's one design and I'm trying to keep this simple. Most of these others are sets. Lakeside Sayings is a group of designs. The Sea Life set is a group of designs. So I'm trying to keep this simple, but the basic same instructions apply whether you're talking about one design or multiples. So we're going to click on Download Files, and we're going to go through that same process we did with Lenny Penny. And it's going to take us a minute. So I'm going to check for questions, comments. Okay, nothing new. The downloading part always takes a long time. I hope this is helpful for y'all, and I hope I'm not teaching you something you don't already know or think I'm being dumb with. I really want this to be helpful and useful. So if I miss something or you miss something and it's not clear, please let me know. All right, so our little Save As menu box has popped up here. So it's asking us where we want to save. Save as. We're in our embroidery files. We're in the sorted files, and we're in Lenny Penny's folder. Do I want my Juju design in my Lenny Penny folder? Nope. So now we have to go find where I really do want to store this. So I'm going to go back to my Windows drive and do the same thing. I'm going to choose my Embroidery Files 2016. This is not a font. I have started separating my fonts from Juju from my other fonts for a couple reasons, but I don't want to put a design in a font folder. So I'm going to go to my Embroidery Sorted Files, and then I'm going to click on Designs by Juju. Right there. See? So then our folder tree is Embroidery Files, Embroidery Sorted Files, and I'm now in Designs by Juju. That's where I want this file to be, and it's going to kick back up an alert because I've already saved this. I've actually already stitched this out. See? There we go. Yes, we're going to replace it. So notice down here in this bottom corner, once again, this is the Lenny Penny design that we downloaded a while ago. And now here is the Designs by Juju flip-flop design. So if you keep downloading designs while you're in this one session, your tabs just are going to run across here until there's a bunches of them. I've downloaded 10 or 12, 15 designs before, and it just keeps pushing them over. If you want to see all of them, your computer should have a show all somewhere that you should be able to click in this bar. So if you do that, then a whole list of your downloads will come up, so you can double check to make sure you've downloaded all the ones you wanted to download if you're doing a big order. Okay, so now we're basically done with the Designs by Juju page, just like we were with Lenny Penny's. And we're going to open up our file folder, or you can use your start menu. I can't see what the computer is showing y'all. There you go. So we can use our file folder or our start menu to be able to access those files. So I'm going to click on this folder, and it's going to open up. It's swirling, it's thinking. And so we're going to open our little design up. We're going to go to the file folder. We went to Embroidery Files. Whoops, it opened it again. No thanks. Thanks for helping, but no thanks. Sorted Files and Designs by Juju. Now to find it easier, I'm going to date sort by clicking on Date Modified right here. And it's going to reorder all the files. See, it's taken a while because I have lots of Juju font, designs. So there it is, the flip-flop summer design modified just a minute ago. And then we're going to right click, and we get that box to extract all because we're in a zipped folder. But notice this time yes, oh, it's asking me a bunch because I'm duplicating it. We're just going to copy and replace. So you know, when you're trying to tell the computer to do something it's already done, it doesn't like you telling it that. Okay, so now we are going to relist them in name order, and we're going to find, notice the Digistitches flip-flop file has a different beginning because Designs by Juju bought Digistitches, so it's got a different number at the beginning. So let's go see if we can find it. And they're listed alphabetically. So here we are, Digistitches 448 Flip-Flop Summer. We're going to open that file. Oh shoot, I didn't do this right, y'all. It was supposed to ask me. Let's try this one. It was supposed to ask me about, maybe because I've already downloaded them. Usually when you pop up right here, you get this screen that lists all the different kinds of fonts, but I think it's not doing it because I already downloaded these. Oh, just when I thought I was going to have y'all all fixed up. But normally when you've just bought a design from Juju, when you hover your mouse over one of these pink boxes, another menu bar comes up with all of the different file styles, and you're able to choose. But when we did it, it didn't come up, and so it saved all of them this time. So we're going to open the PES, and there are the two possible files that are in here. One's 5x7 and one is 6x10. And then you're going to right click, and you can either open it with your software, you can send it somewhere, or you can copy it. This time we're going to try to copy it and see if we can do it, save it differently. So now it's copied. It's sort of just holding there. We're going to go down here to our file folder again, and we're going to pick the window bar over here. We're going to go to our flash drive and save it directly to the flash drive. We're going to put our mouse somewhere in this white space, and we're going to right click, and we're going to paste. Y'all following? And so now it's right here in the flash drive. On my E drive, my flash drive has this folder in it now. So if I click on it, it's not going to open because we don't have our software open. We're not using Embird. We're not using software today. We are just transferring files. So it doesn't want to open it. See, it's going to open my software because I have it connected. But if you try to open it without software, it's not going to let you. It'll say you don't have, it's going to ask you, what do you want to open it with? Do you want to open it with Adobe or OneNote or PowerPoint? It's going to try to associate it with a file. That's where I am not very good at giving you instructions. Kyla Sue is much better at that. So if you have questions about associating your files, she's the real computer guru. But now that puts our design on our USB. Any questions about downloading or saving files before we move to Facebooking? Hey Lindsay, I see you joined us. All right. See, lots of folks have joined us. Okay, so now some of the things we're going to talk about a Facebook group are how a Facebook group looks and works. So first of all, understand that on a computer, Facebook looks different than on a tablet, than on a Chromebook, than on a phone. And on a phone, what your phone appearance looks like is totally different than somebody else's phone, usually. There's a lot of reasons for that. Most of the time it's the brand or how that brand interacts with Facebook. But sometimes also it is your personal settings that you've chosen or that your carrier chose for you. And so even from iPhone to iPhone user, your screen can look different from your friend's screen or your husband's screen or whatever from my screen. So a couple things to note is we are in the group page now, and you know that because this bar says we are, as well as your URL. So normally your URL, when you open Facebook, it just says you're at facebook.com, and it doesn't have this group's newbies up here. But once you go to a group, you'll see your group page at the top right here. On a computer, these sections of the group are on this far left bar. On a phone, though, they are often across here, right across the top, very top page. Some of you have seen some of the screenshots where I circle announcements so you can find it. But on a computer or laptop, some of the larger tablets, you may find it in a separate whole list like this. So we're going to go out of discussion and into announcements. We'll click on announcements, and then you'll be able to see we have almost 20 announcements posts. So, and it's going to go in order of most recently posted. So I have one up here as a warning to be careful buying software from eBay. Here's one about tension settings. A couple weeks ago, there was a whole lot of issue between general tension versus fine-tuning tension. The 770 and similar machines have 2 different tension settings. And so this post helps explain that and describe where to find them. And so it can be quite helpful. Here is just another post trying to help make sure people can find the announcements. Just another way to help. This post is about the difference between the 770 and the 800. We get that question, I would guess, probably 3 times a week now that that the 800 is out and available. And so we posted it and pinned it here as an announcement so that people that navigate the groups can find it without having to post another same question with this one has 49 comments. See, there's lots of information in this post, and so it can be helpful. This post is quite helpful lately. Everybody doing all the bunny ears. So there's a template. If you open on the comments, if you click here on the post, on the comments, it will open up all the comments. And you'll see where I added a tutorial showing you how to do the bunny ears. So not only is there a template you can use on your stabilizer to help you stitch it properly, there's a video that shows you how to do this bunny ear. So a lot of times there's good information in the comments. And honestly, I try to keep the comments cleaned up from time to time. Every few days I try to go through and delete anything that doesn't need to stay there that's not helpful, so it minimizes what you have to scroll through as a group member looking for things that you might want. Here is our Facebook Live tutorial post. Sometimes some devices do not allow you to click on these links. If you go down through here and click on these blue spots on your device, sometimes you get an error message. So what you do then is try to type in stabilizer tutorial in your search bar. On a computer, your search bar is right here. On a phone or a tablet, your search bar might actually be the same place where your name of the group is located at the very top dark blue bar. So you have to kind of look around a little bit, but the more you play with the groups and look around, the easier navigating them becomes. So if you click on the stabilizer tutorial and it doesn't work, you can type in the search words stabilizer tutorial and you should be able to find that tutorial. You can type in any of these words. You may get other posts that pop up too, because these are common words. We all use these same things all the time. So you may have to scroll down a little bit to be able to identify the actual post you're looking for. We scroll down a little more. Here's another post about tension and how to look at your threads on the back of your machine. Notice that it opened in another tab when I clicked on it because it was a really long post. And so there wasn't enough space there for it to open. So it's opened in a separate post. But there's 10 different tips in this one post that has the thread pictures. If you, somebody was asking me the other day about this picture. This is the top view, and this is the 3 different possible bottom views. And even though this is the one top view, the difference that some people will notice is sometimes this will also not have any blue. If your bottom, if your top tension is too loose, sometimes there won't be any down there. Sometimes if your bottom tension is too tight, it will actually pull bobbin thread up here onto your top view. So you want to look at this carefully and keep in mind that fonts don't always follow this rule 100%. Fonts are different. This is generally for satin stitching on designs, on the pictures, not on your words. We scroll down a little more. There's another version of that same picture. We're going to go back to the actual announcements post. Here's how to find announcements or how to follow announcements. You can, for instance, let's go back up here to this post right here. On a computer, it's not 3 dots. On a phone, you have 3 dots right here beside the person's name that posted. And if you click on this, you can save the post. You can turn off commenting if you're an admin in a group, or if it's your post and you don't want anybody else to comment, you can turn off commenting. If you want to turn off notifications or you want to get notifications, you can turn those on and off here. So there's a lot of commands that are available if you just play around a little bit with your device. Here is an older post. There are 112 comments about places to find free designs. So you could go through all 112 comments and look for all kinds of freebies that might be in there. Sharing files is a no-no. This is our troubleshooting video that talks about shredding and cleaning your machine, oiling your machine. We have a supply list down through here. So each comment, 135 comments, those are recommended items that you might want to investigate for your embroidery hobby. There's more information about bobbin thread weight. This is a group of different tutorials. There's 45 comments here, and each of these comments on this post is a link to more tutorials. There's a tutorial about how to download, save, and unzip. There are videos about all kinds of stuff up in here. I think Ann Makowski put some video tutorials in here that she's done. But there's stabilizing, embroidery basics, machine embroidery for beginners, merging a script font, Sew What Pro demos, Embrilliance essentials, quick looks, lots of software. Sorry y'all, that was a weird phone call. Lots of tutorials that are in here. You just have to go through and watch the ones that you think might be helpful as you're learning. And then this is our frequently asked questions post. There are something like 25 different tips in here. And it covers all sorts of stuff. I think it's 25. Yep. So it talks about what size hoop you can use. How do you get your pictures into a stitchable design. Talks about why is my bobbin showing on the top of my design. My needle keeps breaking. Why? I bought this beautiful font, but it's too big for my hoop. How do I do that? How do I find where to place my design? There's all kinds of basic information here, and I'm not going to go through all of that here. I just wanted to make sure y'all are able to find things in the group so you're able to navigate the group much more efficiently. Does anybody have questions? I do have one quick thing I'm going to look back over. So, Lindsay's suggestions, and I had not thought of this one, was to make sure y'all understand that you do not have to have software to unzip a file. And we just walked through those steps off of her website and on Designs by Juju. So you don't have to have software to unzip the files. You need software if you want to do things with your files, like you want to add a balloon to a birthday cake, or if you want to add a name to a dinosaur. If you want to do things to designs, then yes, you're going to need software to be able to do that to do that in a fun way. Sometimes Lenny Penny also suggests that we make sure you read the order instructions in your email very carefully. Sometimes you just get so excited getting those designs back, you just skip reading part of the directions, and that can frustrate you a little bit trying to manage. A couple things you also probably want to know about groups is many of the groups that are based on businesses, like my group is a help group. I don't make any money doing anything for y'all. I don't make money selling designs. I don't digitize. I don't sell my work. This is purely my hobby, and I like sharing and making sure that the craft continues into the next generations. So mine's not a business group, but Lenny Penny has a fan group. Designs by Juju has a blessings group. Itch to Stitch has a fan group. Like, all of these big designers have groups where they promote their business. So most of them have rules about what you can post and what you can't post in their group. So it kind of makes sense that Lenny Penny wouldn't want me posting Frou Frou by Heather Sue Designs in her group. That's not professionally nice. It's kind of rude. So make sure you go to the announcements, and no matter what group you're in, make sure you read their rules, because some of the groups you can actually get booted out if you break certain rules. So be really careful about knowing where you are and what group you're in. Look at your page, find the announcements. Some groups have, Facebook has even added a recent feature where they have rules posted in a completely different section, like one of these. And so if you can't find rules, ask somebody in the group, post a question to the group. Can somebody tag me in the group rules? If you're trying to sell something, you need to be very sure what the selling rules are in the group. Most embroidery help groups like ours do not allow selling. We do. Until we have a big issue, we're going to continue to allow you to sell things. We don't want you selling tons of your products. We're all in this hobby together, but like designers, we want them posting. We want them sharing their sales. We want them to share when they have something new coming out. But the main purpose of our group is a teaching resource help kind of group. And so that's why there's so many announcements and so much information available to help y'all. What else can y'all think about that I haven't covered? Any questions? We've spent almost an hour, and I really didn't think it would take this long, but you do want to make sure when you join groups that you do interact with them. Facebook's algorithm has been really wonky over the last couple years. I know I used to not even have to interact really, and I would see lots of stuff coming up in my newsfeed because I just belonged to all these groups. But over the last couple years, with Facebook's privacy issues, the algorithm keeps changing, and so if you don't comment, then the feed is going to go away. You're not going to see that. You're just not going to see as much stuff from that group anymore. The group won't kick you out. Facebook won't kick you out, but it just won't be popping up in your newsfeed. So it's really important to use the heart or the wow, not necessarily the thumbs up. The thumbs up is not being calculated in their algorithms from what I've heard over the last few months. So you have to type words in or use the heart or the wow or the sad or something. The like button doesn't really calculate into their formula anymore to help populate your newsfeed. So you do want to be careful and make sure if you want to keep seeing things that you can. You can also choose in notifications here. You can click on this, and if you want to get notified every time somebody posts in our group, you can choose all post. Or if you just want the highlights or friends post, or you can turn it completely off if some groups are too busy for you and you don't want to pay attention to all that. You can share this group. If you click here, it will give you an opportunity to either post it on your timeline. You can share it in another group you're in. You can share it in a private message. You can even copy and paste your URL. You can go up here and right click and get copy, and then you can go to some other place and do right click and paste, and you can put that link right where you want it to go, and you can share the link that way. Any other questions about navigating a Facebook group? feel free to tag members. When Facebook first started, there was a lot of people that thought if they're tagging me, it means I'm in trouble, or it means, some people would even think, oh, they tagged me, I'm dumb. It's not that. It's not that at all. I felt that way when I first joined a couple of groups, but I realized that a tag is just sort of like touching you on your shoulder, going, hey, if you'll look here, this will help you out. And so it's not calling anybody out. Nobody means anything rude by it whatsoever. It is simply a way to draw you into a space that's going to be helpful for you. So don't ever think anybody's trying to be mean to you. And if you think that, please let me or Jean or Kyla Sue or Kat know, because we do not, y'all know, we don't tolerate much drama around here. It's just not our thing. I don't like confrontation. My goal here is to do nothing but to help you enjoy this hobby. Questions, comments? Is there anything else you want to know? I will tell you that you have these little symbols up here. You have them on your phone. We'll get real close. Somewhere you have different icons. This bell icon is a notification. So if you click on that red dot at notifications, it'll tell you somebody posted just now. They're probably looking for our tutorial. I commented in Juju's group in our group just before we started about Juju with some dino tracks. Here's a post about our neighborhood. You can go down through here, and if somebody tags you, this is where it's going to show up. Jenny Gallagher tagged Sandy Hawks. Jenny Gallagher tagged Kim Roop Ryder. Like, it's going to show up in this notification setting. It's on your bell. If you have Messenger, you'll find your messages here. If you have friend requests from Facebook, they're going to be here. If you go to your home page, and we're going to leave the group now, this is what your general newsfeed looks like. If you post something here, it's not going in our group because you're not in the group anymore. You're on your basic newsfeed, okay? So, if you click on your name, like mine does, it'll take you to my page. And I shared, somebody shared a memory this morning. We moved 6 years ago today. And she shared a picture of us. Oops, and I'm running out of juice. My cord came undone. Questions? Anything else we can help y'all with? Anything else? I have not seen any questions pop up. So I'm going to scroll through here just to be sure. But I don't see any questions. Hope this was helpful. If you see people struggling with computer skills or Facebooking skills, please tag them. You can save post as well and copy and paste links to the post if you want to do that. But I hope this is helpful, and I will see y'all around. Y'all have a great and wonderful happy Easter. Spend some quality time with family and friends this weekend.